This video will answer the question, what is dementia, and briefly go over several causes of dementia. Real quick, dementia is not the same as Alzheimer's. Rather, Alzheimer's disease is a cause of dementia. More specifically, 60 to 80% of dementia cases are attributable to Alzheimer's disease. Let me know if you want a video covering specifically Alzheimer's disease. So, what is dementia? A decline in cognition due to a breakdown in the brain, such as Alzheimer's disease, to the point where daily acts of living are impaired. Now, let's elaborate on what we mean by cognition. So, what is cognition? There are 6 types: learning and memory, language, such as word finding, executive functioning, related to willpower and controlling impulses, complex attention, such as when balancing a checkbook, and perceptual motor, related to hand-eye coordination, and last, social cognition, related to empathy. Alright, so dementia is a decline in one or more types of cognition. The types of cognition that get impacted depend on the underlying cause. Identifying the impacted types can help determine the underlying cause. Now that we know what is dementia, I want to address a common misconception, and that is that the cognitive decline is always slow and gradual. It can be fast, and it can be abrupt. Next, we have the signs and symptoms. I will be going over the signs and symptoms specifically for dementia, not for the causes. Now, remember the 6 types of cognition? Doctors will ask questions that evaluate each of the 6 types. These questions include if there is any difficulty remembering events, which is the most common complaint, taking longer than usual to find the word you want to use, difficulty with mental tasks like balancing a checkbook, getting lost in your neighborhood, a change in personality or increased irritability. One thing that is important is obtaining a baseline. Your doctor will want a recording of your abilities, any changes, and how quickly those changes progressed. This can give your doctor an idea of the cause because diseases such as Alzheimer's take years before activities such as driving or managing finances become impaired. In order to obtain a baseline of your activity, your doctor will also ask questions such as, what do you do for work? Do you participate in any voluntary work? Do you handle your own finances? Do you drive? Do you perform any household tasks such as cooking? Dementia can be a difficult diagnosis to make. One challenge is that patients may be unable to recognize their own cognitive decline. Usually, a patient's loved one brings the condition to the doctor's attention. And another challenge is differentiating dementia from normal aging. Let's go more into aging. So a normal part of aging is a decline in memory and one's ability to think quickly. The trouble with this is determining if the decline is expected for normal aging or if it is dementia, particularly if the dementia is due to Alzheimer's disease, because dementia from Alzheimer's is gradual and slow. We have solutions. If a person has annual checkups with their doctor, then the doctor can compare a before and after to get a sense of how fast the decline is. If it's the patient's first time with the doctor, then the doctor will want to see the patient again in 6 months to see if there are any declines in cognition. In addition, the decline in aging is usually for learning new information. It does not interfere with recalling learned information. Also, normal aging does not affect the ability to perform acts of daily living. In order to get a sense of a patient's cognitive abilities, we have 3 methods of scoring cognition: the mini mental state examination, the extended mental status examination, and the formal neuropsychological testing. The mini mental state examination, as shown here, is usually enough for a proper evaluation. If there is a disconnect between the patient's score and the patient's history, then the doctor can utilize the extended exam. Lastly, if there's suspicion that a psychological disease is interfering with the patient's cognitive performance, then the doctor can perform formal neuropsychological testing. Ideally, the history and mental status examination will match, but what if they don't? In cases where the patient's loved ones say the patient has shown decreased cognition, but the tests say otherwise, then here are the possibilities. Mild dementia or mild cognitive impairment, high IQ, high education, or depression. If the patient's family states the patient hasn't shown any cognitive decline, but the tests say otherwise, then here are the possibilities. The patient has a low IQ or low education. In some cases, the family isn't with the patient long enough to give an accurate evaluation. To keep this video short, I will be going over the causes of dementia, lab work, and imaging, as well as treatments in other videos. This concludes the video. As always, thank you for watching. Comment below on any medical topics you're interested in learning more about.